And good morning, good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back. And yeah, here we are for the wildcard weekend flight today, taking us from Phoenix, Arizona to Los Angeles. So it's a little flight, not very long, just over an hour. But the other flights actually were much longer. There was possibility to do something like Las Vegas to Cincinnati, which would have been long. And others that we did recently, like there was a flight possibly to do from Philadelphia to Tampa, but Philadelphia we flew into last time. So anyway, this one should be good fun. And yeah, on the 737 Southwest flight 5724. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well, and you've had a good week. I've been a little bit busy here and there, and not really had too much of a chance to come on. So here we are today, and should be a good one. Oh wow, it looks like a roller coaster up there. That bridge there with the tram going down the bridge. Gosh. Anyway, without further ado, we'll jump in. The first thing I wanted to check was the flight plan. There's nothing really out of the ordinary today. The weather is good in Phoenix, it's good in LA, so no major problems. And en route, if we look at quickly, Meteonautics as well there's no much on the way to LA, so no big drama today, so that's quite good. Excellent. I hope you're all doing well. You've not missed me too much. No, that's not what I wanted to do. It's the other button. I'm kind of losing track of all these buttons and screens and and MSCP 004, you've got your boarding pass ready. Good. You're sitting at the front. One alpha, yeah. Good. The boss, good morning. Amber 9, good morning. And KFC Turbo, good morning. Water Digger, before coffee, checklist complete. The coffee is finished. Just a little bit of a drop left. It was starting to turn cold, so there you go. Yeah, here we are in Phoenix. So, without further ado, we'll jump in and get the show on the road. I'll take it easy because, as I said, it's a short flight today. And yeah, 1 hour and 5 minutes, roughly 28,000 feet. At the moment, it looks a little bit unclear for LA which rival we're gonna do, because looks like in real they're landing on easterly facing, but taking off towards the ocean, which they kind of tend to do because it's 2:30 in the morning over there. So at night, the runways, since there's not a lot of traffic, the runways are used in opposite directions, so landing east and taking off west, which could be a potential source of problem, but since the traffic is light, then they can do it, I guess. All right, beautiful 737-800 with those double winglets. Not really sure how you call these. I forgot again. Anyway, we are on Charlie 8, Southwest, pretty much terminal. I think all those Charlie gates in Phoenix are for Southwest. So yeah, Southwest 15724, which is actually a real flight, I think, taking off in the next couple of hours. So I'll try to make it as realistic as possible. Obviously, daylight settings as well, because otherwise the flight is going to be in the dark all day. So cool, Rabba. Hope you're doing well. Lurk away, lurk away. The split scimitars. Ah, okay, aero guitarist. Okay. This is too complicated for me. But it's cool. It's actually quite nice because you've got that dual thing going on the wingtips, which is good. Aerodynamically as well, it must help a little bit more. So there you go. Right, so we'll jump in. The first thing I'll do is close the doors on the right hand side, so those two doors, so that we can get rid of the catering, and we'll get the pre-flight going on. So we'll arm, or should I say switch the RS to a nav mode. We'll check the clacker up there, a fly recorder. We'll just test the off light comes off, so that's good, it's working. Stall warning bzzz, is working as well. We'll give some power to the crew here with the IFE and the cabin utility power switches, so they can brew some coffee already. And that's not what they are here for, but see what I mean. Oops. The emergency lights we can arm, those ones they can come on. This can come on as well actually, because we've already have the fuel. We can check the attend button, that's fine. And finally up here on the trimmer, from off goes to on. That's it. I don't know if there's cabin temperature on this. I don't remember particularly well on this aircraft, but it doesn't look like there is, so anyway, it's 12 degrees, so it's not too cold in the cabin, so we'll keep the APU off for the moment, just keep the ground power on. Scimitars was a French word. I'm not sure. It's it doesn't ring a bell, to be honest. Top right corner of the overhead. That's a... Oh yeah. You see, I'm way forgetting the 737. So yeah, that's the passenger cabin up here. Is at 20, and the aft is 20. That's the pack temperature there. Yeah. And here the supply duct. Okay. Forward, aft, and the control cabin, which is the same as this one here. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that one. It's a much it's a much simpler and basic system than on the 777, where you press the air synoptic and it gives you the temperature in every single compartment of the cabin and all that stuff. Here it's a little bit more basic. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah. Cool. So we can leave it at the forward part of the cabin, 20 degrees, so it's comfortable. Thank you, the boss. Thank you. Oh gosh. Yeah, come down here, check the takeoff configuration warning for what's worth, just in case it doesn't work. We'll test the fire detection system here, and the wheel well. Yeah, it's giving us, and the engine fire as well, and APU fire detection system, and finally the cargo fire detection system. That's that. Cool. Excellent. Yeah, we got rid of the catering, so that's good. Right, so let's jump back in, and we'll start with the FMC then today. So we're on the 737-800 with the they call that scimitars winglets. And the engine rating is 26K, Iraq is 2113, so that takes us until January the 27th. And then we'll move on to the next page, pause on it, enter the origin airport, which is KPHX. And then for the set RS position, as you can see, you've got those boxes, so those prompts means that you need to enter something here. So to get the information required for the RS position, then you need to go on the next page on the 737 here and pick up normally the GPS left position, so north 33, so it's quite far south actually, and take it here in the boxes, and then the instrumentation is now lining up, which is good. Then we'll do the flight plan request here. Probably have to scroll through the routes actually. Actually, it will take less time today to do it manually because there's only a couple of waypoints to the route, but it's okay. So we'll take this one, KPHX, KLAX, select flight plan request. It's gonna work? Not sure. Gosh. I have to do flight plan request again? Ah, forget man, all these things. Route uplink ready, cool. So we'll load that. Route uplink loading, beautiful. Okay, and now we can clear this. I'll put the flight number, which is Southwest 5724. I said real flight departing in the next couple of hours. And yeah, that's good. So let's have a look at the next page. Direct to Messi and then to Eastwood. So that's it. Just 2 waypoints. We'll activate this and execute it. So now the route is active. In the perfinite page here, I'll enter the reserve, which from the flight plan is pretty much minimum reserve on the 737, 2.2 tons. So it's the alternate is Ontario, a little bit further inland, and final reserve fuel is just under 1.1. So FMC reserve, which is the sum of the fuel to go to the alternate and then the last 30 minutes, which is the final reserve. It's 2.2, which obviously looks like a small number if you're used to the 777 numbers, but for 737 it's kind of standard. Cost index will be 35. Cruising altitude we only go up to 28 today. There's no need to go further up. The top of climb wind should be 272 at 54. So that's from the flight plan data. And usually, as I said up here, normally what you input is the first, well, some of the flight plan software should give you a top of climb wind, so it will calculate when the aircraft reaches the cruise level. And
the autumn
hey, 787 Century, thank you very much for the red.
And upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Thank you, thank you. I hope you had a good stream. Andreas turned the seatbelt sign. That's a good one. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Thank you very much for joining the stream here. Hope everything is good. And yeah, so that's welcome guys for flight Southwest 5724 from Phoenix to LAX. Happy 22 to you as well. I hope so far so good this year. Hopefully it will get a little bit better. We'll have to wait and see. And then the top of climb temperature is minus 34, so we'll set minus 34, which is warmer than normal, so fair enough. Hello Raiders. The Raiders are playing in Cincinnati, man. Last weekend there was a terrific game between the Raiders and the Chargers, for those of you who are into this. It was amazing. Anyway, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. And here we've got all the information we need. We just modify the acceleration height here to 3000. And that should do the trick. Right, now we go to departure arrival. Go Phoenix. We're gonna depart from runway 07 left. From what I understand, not that I've read the NOTAMs, but because you know that I don't read the NOTAMs when I simulate here. But 08 is closed, so it's let's pretend that it's closed here as well in the sim. So we'll go for runway 07 left, and the from 737 to more 737 action. Oh, okay, you were doing a 737 flight. Oh, I missed that. Oh yeah, so we go from 737 to 737. Yeah, today no 777, just to change a little bit. And I already forgot like some of the stuff on the 73, so gosh. Hey Sliman, how are you doing? Boom bada boom. That's a nice emote. Nice. Hamburg to Milan and back to Hamburg. Oh wow, that's good. That's a good rotation. Today, like always, I'll only do one flight, so it's just gonna take us to LAX and that's it. But there's no rush, I'll take my time. Right, so here we are, Kins 2 with the messy transition from runway 07 left. So, let me pull out the departures here from the charts. So, from the SID here on the left-hand side, we'll locate the Kins 2. Here it is. And let's have a look, see what it says. This is very important to check. You might think, oh, he's just like a little bit pedantic, you know, he's going through this. You know, why? Because, you know, he's got all the information in the FMC, so what does he bother? Well, you have to make sure that what's in the FMC is correct. Sometimes the database is not exactly, you know, in the correct order, or some speed limits or, you know, altitude constraints are not in the database. So you basically need to double check. No worries, 78th Century. Thank you very much for the raid. I know for you it's an extra few hours, so time for dinner. Thank you again for the raid, and we'll see you around. Thank you very much. Cool. So, from the FMC then, we've got 078 on the heading to Futep, which is the first waypoint. Then we go to Ascot, that's correct. Then to Usi, then to Masvi with 220 knots and 7,000 feet or above. The next waypoint is Oakley. So we disregard that Woolco here. Woolco is most probably for the westerly departures here. So we got to Kins, and Kins... oh yeah, we've got ISO. Okay, that's correct. And then up here to Messy. So that's fine. And in this box here, you've got the textual description, which normally I don't bother going through because I prefer to kind of go through the kind of schematic part of it, but you can read through the textual description of the departure as well here. And the top altitude or initial climb clearance is 8,000 feet. A lot of the Jeppesen, I don't know if it's mostly for US airports or if it's pretty much everywhere. I'll need to look at like various airports around the world, but they tend to title this top altitude here. I would call this like initial climb or initial clearance. It's, you know, anyway, it's the same thing at the end of the day. So we'll set 8,000 feet in the MCP here, and the runway heading should be 078, which I remind you, you can also check on the yeah, it's taxi charts, and if you look at the airport chart, if you look at runway 7 left, underneath here you've got that 07 left kind of oval, and at the bottom 078, so that's the runway heading. That's another way to get the information. Cool. Excellent. So the FMC is set. The route data, I don't think, yeah, this one doesn't work. I still haven't worked it out. Every time I say I work it out, and then I never have time to work it out. So, so the wind for the cruise, anyway, it's not really that vital because there's only 2 waypoints once in the cruise, so we can skip that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the FMC at this stage. So I'll leave it on this and then move on with the rest of the flight deck setup. So we are in the US, so we'll go inches of mercury. And yeah, change it from hectopascal to inches here on the FS panel. And yeah, top altitude, it seems to be indeed above a US thing. But at the end of the day, it's the same, you know. It's the initial climb on the SID. So same thing, just different ways to you know, to call it. And what else do I want to do? Just yeah, this is set up, and that's fine. Okay, cool. Flight director comes on, and we've got the runway heading and the altitude. So for the moment, it's good. And I need to switch on this one as well because there's no FS to cruise. So I need to do everything here. I'm single pilot, which is cool. Reclose, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, thank you.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
We'll use the B function 3008.
I am serious.
And I'll double check KPHX just to make sure. 3008. Yeah, cool. That's correct. Let's do oxygen for what it's worth. There's not gonna be an emergency descent. Don't be concerned. Disregard the UTC time here. It's just a little bit ahead of time, just by a few hours. But that's, as I said, to keep the daylight settings in the sim. And this one we can change also to inches of mercury, 3008. And yeah, that's it for down here. There's no radio navigation to be used on this one. It's purely RNAV departure, so kind of basically GPS. It's a little bit like following the GPS indications given on your, you know, by your car or whatever. Let me go back to this one. Yeah, so we can leave the radios down here as they are, and on the MCP as well, the courses can stay as they are. There's no really any big need to do anything with them. Auto brake will come on. And that's pretty much it here. Right, so now we'll go to the EFB, initialize the flight, go to the performance, and let's see what we can take. So it's already started to populate some of the sections here. We are in KPHX, 7 left, condition dry. The wind from what we picked up here is 100 at 7. So we'll enter 100 at 7. 11 degrees, yeah, 12, same thing. 3008 is good. Thrust rating will go takeoff 2 initially. Optimum, no, not optimum, we'll go for 5. And configure the AC configuration is on, and the AI is off. And let's see what we can uplift with the full 22K. We can uplift 67,168, and our takeoff weight is 64.1, so that's good. Okay, so 22K is good, the takeoff 2 configuration. And if we enter now the actual weight, 64.1. Then it's giving us 31 degrees, I would assume, with 22K. Okay. Cool. So we've got the information here. It's a long runway. I think it's more than 3,000 meters long, but it's a little bit elevated. And Phoenix, it's 1,000 feet more or less of above sea level. So it kind of penalizes a little bit on the performance. The temperature is 11, 12 degrees is good, so the temperature is on our side. The atmospheric pressure is high as well, so that's good. But in the summer in Phoenix, you know, it's a desert in Arizona, so it can become a little bit penalizing. So it's always good to check. Cool. So that's fine. Last thing we need to do, we'll do a quick boarding here with GSX. We're not gonna board. We'll just board maybe 25 passengers, just to get the noise in the background a little bit. Pretend we are boarding. Hopefully, it's not gonna take too long. Gosh. And yeah, should be on our way. So the last thing we need to do is come up here to the overhead, switch on the yaw damper. That's it, the light should come off. These ones here are all guarded, so we don't really touch all those switches there. The navigation, here we've got all those navigation and display switches. They all stay either on normal or otherwise auto. The fuel pumps come on just where we have fuel in the tanks. So the left wing and the right wing tank. In the middle we don't have anything, so we leave it off. And we can test the crossfit valve here. So the light comes bright blue and then dims. And then when we close it again, bright blue and then off, which is what's supposed to happen. We'll start the APU now, make some noise. And switch on the window heat at this stage. The probe heat is after the engine starter, as I pointed out one of the previous flights. And here, since we have started the APU, we'll put the packs on, the APU bleed on as well. And in the pressurization panel down here, we'll set the cruise altitude 28,000 feet, at least the planned cruise altitude, and the elevation at destination, which is actually 128, so we'll round it up to 150. Then the pressurization mode selector here, once again, very important switch on the 737. Make sure it's on auto, so that's the case. And that's it. We're progressing with the passenger boarding. I don't hear anything in the background. Oh, here they are. Okay, cool. Don't need that anymore. Cool, excellent. Right, so far so good. Hope everybody's following. Nobody's falling asleep. Mind you, if you're falling asleep, it's good. At least it's making you comfortable. Excellent. I'm gonna have to go for a top up with my coffee there. Gosh. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So I hope you're having good plans for the weekend. I'm gonna be working, so it's alright, I can't complain. Alright, so now we're gonna do the performance. So let's have a look. Now we've got all our numbers here. Hello. So what I'll do is change the view here, like this, perfect. So we got 0 fuel weight. I worked out with a flight plan of 58.9, so we'll enter 58.9. Hey Aiden, how you doing? Welcome back. 58.9, we got 5.5 tons of fuel on board, which should do the trick to get us all the way to LAX. That's giving us a weight of 64.4 minus a little bit of fuel burnt on the taxi out to the runway. We should have, by the time we start the takeoff roll, we should be pretty much about 64.1. So that's what we're expecting, so we can execute that. Then we say we're gonna take 22k D-rate on the N1 limit, and as you can see it says 22k D-rate, and then you have the TO minus 2, and that's why we calculated up here, TO minus 2. So we'll select this one, 91.8, and then for the select temperature we can actually enter a little something. Yeah, it's a short flight today, just over an hour, but it's a long arrival actually going into LAX, so yeah, that's good. As I said, there were possibly other flights to do, but Either they were shorter because there was, for example, Boston to Buffalo to do, which is very short, and otherwise maybe Philadelphia to Tampa, I'm not sure. So, but I thought this one will be good. On top of that, you know, it's they are good airports to fly from. So yeah. So I go 31 degrees on the selected temperature as per the performance calculated there, and 90.9 on the N1. Yeah, there's a slight difference, but that's okay. And then we'll go flaps 5 here. We'll take whatever CG is giving us by PMDG, depending on the way the aircraft is loaded. And here it's actually giving us slightly different speeds, so we'll take the speeds from the EFB, from the performance software. We'll take the V1136. Rotate is the same 139. And V2144. As I said before, if the speeds are a little bit different, then I will take what's given by the performance software. If they are the same or it's just like a very maybe 1 knot difference, then in a sense you can stick with what the FMC is giving you. But here, since it's similar, then yeah, we can, well, it's a little bit different, I mean, then we can take the EFB speed. Cool. So, we've got a V2 of 144. We'll arm LNAV and VNAV. And yeah, we've got the runway heading and 8,000 feet. No, I've not done the Aspen visual approach. No, that's something I need to try to do one of these days. I've been somehow caught up, you know, doing all these flights for that tour, so Aspen is not really a destination, and since I've not had too much time to go and do other flights around the tour, then yeah, I'll need to look at it one of these days. Here it's quite an interesting approach. There's another place as well, I think in Colorado, where it's a little bit funky, so yeah, yeah, I'll try one of these days. The one I quite liked that I did on stream maybe about a year ago was the approach into, I think it's Juneau, you know, in Alaska. That was quite interesting as well. There was some sort of offset localizer approach or something like that, where you have to skip a little bit above a little hill just before the runway. It's interesting, very interesting approach. Alright, let's put the APU on the bus, and I'll disconnect all the equipment, I think, close all the doors. Oh, we've got traffic here, beautiful. Delta, cool. I like these. It's like a roller coaster earlier on. We saw it coming from the from the top of the bridge there, going woo. It's not that steep, to be fair, but hey. Anyway, right. So all the ground connections. So we'll close the doors here, cargo doors, and then the last remaining cargo passenger door. That's it, and then go to the ground services and remove the chokes, which disconnects everything. Good. And then return to the menu, FMC and legs page. Because as I said before, when you take off, ideally the pilot flying, so in this case today from the left side, you've got the FMC page for the phase of flight, so takeoff page here, and the pilot monitoring most of the time has the legs page here on their side. So here we are. That's the way we do it. Right, everything is clear. I think these will go once we remove the bridge. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, water digger. 10 degrees for January. No bad. At least it's dry. Cavoque. It could be cloudy at like higher level, but at least it's a good visibility and there's a good feeling of brightness. Just a little bit of wind, but I know where you are. It's sometimes a little bit windy, so. But that's not bad. 1028. High pressure, so I guess it must be clear. Maybe clear skies, huh? Clear blue skies. That's a nice winter day indeed. Fantastic. You have to take them when they come because otherwise, above all at this time of year, it's the weather can be nasty a little bit. So, oh, that's good. Fantastic. At least you're not like going outside like totally frozen. Yeah? 10 degrees, of course, is not that warm, but for this time of year, it's okay. Right, so we should be all set up. So we'll go up here and get ready for the push and start. So we'll switch off the hydraulic A pumps, switch off the packs, turn on the anti-collision lights, and the parking brake is set, and the transponder will go all the way to ta-da! Oh, Cat3 at Charles de Gaulle and Orly. Oh, wow. That'll be good to do a little bit of practice auto-land. Well, not so much practice, an actual real auto-land in these conditions. Yeah, that would be a good day to fly to Salzburg, indeed. Indeed. Hey, no worries, William. No worries. It's maybe yeah, it's a kind of suitable time, I guess, for you where you are. Indeed. Yeah. I hope everything is doing well. I was in your part of the world a couple of weeks ago, roughly. So, but for us as like air crew members, we're kind of locked up. I think actually it's one of the rare countries in Asia where you can actually go and do a layover, but you have to stay locked up, so fair enough. Right, let's request the pushback and departure. So the bridge is going away. So it's good because with the scenery, it's those SODE or SOD or whatever you call that, SODE gates. So there's a menu via prepared, but it seems to be controllable as well with GSX. So happy days. Hey, next generation flight, how are you doing? Here we are. It's a beautiful morning in Phoenix. Locking gear. No, LAX is still the improved AFCAD for LAX. Let me double check the direction of the push. Where are we? Nose to the left. Okay, number 2.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Right, so we'll start the timing here. Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
And Salzburg is nice as well, 1034. A little bit cooler, but it's nice. High pressure over this part of the world. So normally high atmospheric pressure, so high QNH should be giving you good weather. In the morning it could be a little bit foggy sometimes because you know the moisture of the night kind of gets trapped at low level and stuff, but otherwise like shouldn't be too many clouds. Right, so we'll start the left engine first. Don't need to go that high. It's a 737, no, a 777. The start switch is here. So ground, and now we'll wait. got N2 slowly increasing now. We've got oil pressure slowly rising, and the N1 rising as well.
Set parking brakes.
Oh, it's already finished.
Confirmation for good engine start.
And then at 25%, we bring the fuel in. Am I in the correct position? Yes. Okay, cool. The delta is here. Not sure if somebody is following. Oh yeah, I kind of alternate the sides. On the 777, we alternate the sides a little bit depending on the direction of the push and stuff, so that's why I do it here. I know on the 737 that we didn't really do it too much, so I should have started the right, it's true. I don't know if it has actually any impact on, as long as you don't start two at the same time. And then we start the right now, so ground. Wait for N2. And this one I don't think has an auto start function, so you have to start kind of manually. So let the N2 increase to 25% until you inject the fuel. They got N2 oil pressure, N1 25%, bring the fuel in. Yeah, you can't really break it. We got a bit of a puff of smoke there on the engine. You can't break it if you do it the other way around. Yeah, it's just an old thing. So yeah. Oh, it's interesting. Now it started, so the start switch gets back to off, and then there was a red light here on the GT. It's gone, so the engine is started. Good. So we'll confirm with GSX. 2 good engine starts. And now there's a bit of a setup to do. So we'll come on the overhead panel, switch on the electrical connection from the generators onto the main electrical system of the aircraft. So put the generators basically on the bus. The probe heat can come on now. Here I'm not sure if it's auto function as well or if it's manual. I think it must be an option on the 737. At the time I was flying it, it was manual. The probe heat was not, depending on where you were on the ground or in the air. The hydraulic air pumps come back. The packs go back to auto. APU bleed off and the isolation valve to auto. Start switches come off. APU is coming off as well.
Left is clear.
We'll check the recall. Both sides, the 6-pack here. There's no lights. We'll look at the system page. We've got the hydraulic pressure now at 3000, more or less. So that's what we're expecting. So that's good. And then we can blank the lower display here. That's it. And check this and then go for flaps 5. And the trim should be 5.9. So we'll roll the wheel. Something like that. Are those guys gone? Oh yeah, he's already back in place. Cool. Yeah, the newer jets are auto, huh? Yeah. But we do the switch anyway. Cool. Excellent. That should be it, huh? So we got generators on, probe heat on, anti-ice off is now required, hydraulic pumps are on, packs auto, bleeds on, and it's set. Start switches are continuous, APU off. Flaps 5, the stab trim is set, and the start levers are idle detent. That should be it pretty much. Phoenix traffic, southwest 5724, taxiing to 7 left. Right, let's go, let's go, let's go. So, taxi and runway turn off lights, and let's go. So, we'll taxi all the way back up via Delta to 7 left. We'll display the weather radar here. I forgot to put the airports. So we got flaps 5 green light and the step trim is set down here. Cool. Beautiful. You've got to love it. Ah, there's somebody else here as well. Oh, jeez. It's a meeting point this morning in Phoenix. Nice. Yeah, that's VATSIM traffic, huh? I don't think it's... Yeah. There's no... I think I don't know if there's like fixed traffic in the scenery, or or maybe there's an option, but I think it's disabled anyway. Alright, what do we have here? Before takeoff, you have flap and step trim, so that's good. So what you can do is move the yellow cursor here to show where you are in the checklist sequence. It's quite nice. No, I've not tried VATSIM Velocity. Is it running now? Is it ready? I was not aware of it. I'm just with the what I believe is the current vPilot version, and then just the normal. Oh, it's on beta test. Oh, okay. No, I've not had any request to test it or anything like that. So I'm just a mere mortal. I've not had the chance to test it. It must be good, because for when you actually flying in the sim, you'll get like better movement, better visuals with other traffic, I guess, because sometimes you know what it's like. I'm not gonna tell you what it looks like, but in VATSIM, when you're looking at other traffic, sometimes it's a little bit funky when they land, but since the refresh rate, from what I understand, is gonna improve, it will look much better, much smoother. So that'll be nice. Right, so this is Delta 7. Yeah, Delta goes all the way up, that's fine. I was following with the EFB there on the side. Cool. It's a higher refresh rate, huh? Yeah. Oh, the one thing I didn't do, and it's not the end of the world, is 250 below 11,000. What's that? Flying high. No, if you mean on Twitch, the video on demands can only stay for 2 weeks, and the last flight I did was about 9 or 10 days ago. So, but this one I removed because it's on the YouTube channel. And then before that, it's already like, it's already too late. The 2 weeks I've have lapsed, so all the videos expire on Twitch. Unfortunately, they don't stay. But for these specific flights, I remove them, and then they are on the YouTube channel. So that's why. I'm not a Twitch partner, so the videos don't stay for too long on Twitch. They only stay for 2 weeks, I think. Right, so I think it's gonna be not this one. Second left, then should be full length 7. Yeah, I know it might be a bit of a pain to go from Twitch to YouTube, back to Twitch and stuff. YouTube is good for like videos and, you know, which are a bit like a film or something, because you've got all the search functions and stuff which are not really in Twitch. So for the discoverability and just the platform to watch videos, I think YouTube is a little bit better. But on Twitch it's nice to stream, because you've got all the interactivity and all that stuff around. Anyway, it's a matter of like what you're used to as well. Right, so I will put these on. Auto throttle on, and we already have Tara. Phoenix traffic southwest 5724, rolling runway 7 left. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go to Glasgow. Well, not today. Today it's LAX. Cool, so that one is good. It's clear on the right. That looks like full length. It is. Are we ready? Let's take the Arizona Cardinals to the LA Rams. Right, so we'll start the timing. Let's get rolling. So we'll set just over 40%. Let the engines stabilize, hit toga, and set takeoff thrust, or whatever you want to call it. Let's go, let's go! $80 knots. Here on the 737, it's thrust hold or check.
V1.
And rotate. Let's go, let's go! Whoa! Positive climb, gear up is this button on this, cool. Let's go, let's go! And VNAV speed, good. Right, so we go N1, then we'll engage Command A and keep climbing. So all the way to 280. There's no ATC now. It's a little bit early. I can understand. So 280, we set it once here in the MCP altitude window, twice in the altitude for the pressurization panel, and 3 times in the FMC. Right, so now we're accelerating, so the speed is creeping up towards the 1 bug, so we can retract the flaps to 1. From 5 normally it goes to 1. We don't really retract via 2. It just retracts from 5 to 1. And now from 1 to up. 1 to up. So you got the amber early flaps transit. And once the leading edge, that's it. Then you got flaps up with no lights. Beautiful. So the landing gear goes from up to off. The auto brake we have to switch off manually. Start switches for the moment, they can go off. The retracts, they can be retracted. That's that. And check the pressurization. At this stage it should be climbing very gently. 12-15, that makes sense. Everything is set good. Let's have a look outside. Oh wow, right in the turn. Beautiful. It's climbing like a rocket. Yeah, it's a powerful little aircraft actually. Those engines, those CFM, whatever the code is, they are good. They are good engines. It's a beautiful aircraft actually. It's nice, you know, I mean, I think I've said it many times before, but I like from time to time to go back to the 737 here, because it's a nice aircraft to fly. Maybe not as user-friendly as a 777, but still, it's a nice aircraft. Wow. Nice turn. 10,000 feet already. Wow. It's also a sharp climb because the speed is kept at 220 for those turns. There's a restriction, so it really helps with the climb. The lower the speed and the more the steeper the climb is gonna be. So I think it's at this waypoint. Yeah, at this waypoint, then it's gonna accelerate. I think the speed restriction is to help, you know, keeping the turn in check so that you don't, you know, with the turn radius as you accelerate, it doesn't take you too far out. And then if the aircraft is trying to follow the LNAV but the speed is high, then it's gonna have to increase the bank angle, and then the bank angle might be too big. So, and then if it cannot sustain the bank angle, then it's gonna overshoot the turn. So right, so 10,000 feet, all the lights come off. The fuel pumps are good. We'll release the passengers. And the cabin is climbing slowly, that's good. And then we'll check the recall. Excellent. Hey, TB, good afternoon, welcome back. The V2, just to keep it simple, is really done with the performance software here. So now in the 737 there, they have included the performance calculation software. So the V2 is given to you in there. There's no like manual way to calculate it or anything. It's just whatever the software is giving us, you know. So I'll switch that off, save like half a frame per second maybe. That's it. Cool. Well, we can go terrain on this side. And now it's gonna climb to 280 at 306 knots. Beautiful. Cool, I like that. So what I could have done, actually, I forgot. I think there's a little bit of time in the cruise, but I could have set up the arrival already on the ground, since it's not a long flight. But I think I'll have a little bit of time to do it in the cruise. Yeah, landing in 55 minutes. So yeah, it'll probably be a little bit of time. The temperature is still plus 12 on the TAT here. Uh-oh. Yeah, so for the moment, no need for engine anti-ice. We're gonna cross the transition altitude at 18,000 feet, so we'll reset the altimeters to standard, like so. Yeah, I'll switch on the engine anti-ice now because we're gonna cross that layer there. It's plus 10, yeah. So start switches to continuous, and then engine anti-ice on. It's funny because the little cover there is missing. I think I pointed that out before, but it's funny. That's something actually that happened in the aircraft because, as you can imagine, it's used quite a lot. And this little white cap there, or like cover, it's easy to actually like pull away from the switch. So here it's missing. That's a nice touch. No, I think the 777X would have to do a little bit of additional training just to get used to the overall flight deck layout. I think there are new screens. I think it's closer to a 787 from a point of view of the flight deck layout. So there will need to be a little bit of not so much a conversion, but what do they call that? Like, yeah, just familiarization or something like that. But when is that going to be? Who knows? I think it's gonna take a while. Alright. Let's do some music. We love the music, don't we? Let's go! Let's go! Fantastic. I think it should be out of the soup now, so let's have a look. We'll be able to turn off the engine anti-ice. Maybe further up. Should be alright. So to turn it off, then the switch here comes off first. So once again it goes to bright blue. That means that the valve is kind of moving, and then the light extinguishes, so the valve is closed, and then the start switch is back to off. That's it. Nice. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. You've got to love it. And we're getting a little bit of a headwind as well, so that's gonna slow down the proceedings. We could actually go again on 6 left this time, because I think the southwest terminal, or at least the southwest gates, are to the north of the airport in LAX, so we'll see. I'll double check before setting it up. The only thing is that I may not have the fuel. Well, not all the fuel to go on 6 left instead of 2 4 right. We'll see what the weather is doing. That's it. FMC speed and VNAV path. Variable 280. Messy Eastwood, and then it's transiting already onto the arrival. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do a quick setup and then take it easy. So, let's check. There the recall, good. Let's pick up the weather for LAX. .3 Yeah, and I will go straight in. Yeah, I will go straight in. 3011. Okay. So we can preset 3011. Cool. So, charts again. Told you, it goes very fast. That's good. At least you don't have time to get bored. Hollywood. Donde está Hollywood? Well, if I was looking at the right charts, it would be helpful. Load flight 2. That's it. KLAX. Here we are. So, Hollywood. Here we are. It's a good name. So, we're looking at Los Angeles, California, KLAX. Radar required, turbojet aircraft only. Los Angeles landing west traffic. Expect 25 left unless otherwise, where I will be at 24 right. And the Hollywood 1 Arnav arrival. Okay, so that's good. That's the one we expect. So we're gonna go to a departure arrival, KLAX arrival. I go for ILS 24 right, and Hollywood 1, and the Eastwood transition here. And then the transition will be via Seaview, or Seaview. Here we are, and execute. Cool. So now, it's a lot of waypoints actually to sequence there, so I will try to do it quickly. Enable 280 knots at Brun. Okay, yeah, it's because the descent is 279, so I'll change that. Right, so from Eastwood we go to McQueen, then to Mudler, okay, then to Monroe, still in the cruise. Then Hollywood 320 or below, that will be in the cruise. Brun 280, yeah, 280 knots between 300 and 240, yeah, that's correct. Then to Avatar 190 and 240, yes. Then to Day 17,000, Wadup 15,000. Neil 14,000, and finally Seaview 12,000, 14,000 at 270. Okay. Before I go any further, we'll make this one 74/280, so that we don't get the warning. Hey, Flight Sim Race, how you doing? Oh, stretch, done. Stretch, stretch, stretch. What else? Okay, so that's the arrival to Seaview. It's all in there, and then we'll pick up the ILS 24 right. Here we are. Should start at Seaview. Yeah, Seaview to Skull. Seaview to Skull. Skull should be 10,000 feet, yeah. check the ILS profile chart here. So many steps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 2. It's crazy. So we'll do it from here actually. So Skull 10,000, Decor 9,000, Brie 8,000, then Palak 11, 6, Brook 5, Mercy 4, Kobe 2, 2. Okay, wow. The Ferrari is working well, thank you very much. It's working very well. Enjoying the Voom Vava Voom. And then from Kobe to runway 24 right. Okay. Well, that's correct. And in case of a mist, it's going to roughs. Climb to 2,000 feet on heading 251 and outbound on LAX radio 260 to roughs. So only 2,000 feet. Okay, 2,000 at roughs, so that's correct. Good, so the FMC is set up. At least for the waypoints. Top of descent in 143 miles, so got a bit of time, good. Then we'll pick up, that's definitely too far right. Localizer frequency 185, so we'll come down here and set 185. So on nav 1 and 185 on nav 2. Then we'll set the courses. Final approach course 251. We'll do it the reverse order. As I've said before, like the Jepsen charts are quite good for the 737 because, as you can see, I'm doing now with the briefing strip. You know, I set the ILS frequencies there, 185, then move on to the final approach course 251. So set the courses here in the MCP, and then the minima, which we'll call 330. We'll round it up. Like this. And then you've got the airport elevation 128 to set in the land altitude window there 150. So is it true during airliner flight they can also carry cargo on board as well as passenger bags? Yeah, definitely, yeah, of course. It's a significant part of what's being carried, you know, underneath in the cargo holds, indeed. All sorts of cargo, and then depending on the airline approval, like there can be a few dangerous goods, but I mean the dangerous goods label is quite wide, you know, it's a wide spectrum of things. It can be benign things which are still registered as dangerous goods because there's a little bit of chemical inside or something like that, but it doesn't have like too much impact, up to radioactive stuff and very strong chemicals and all sorts of shit. So it's a wide spectrum of things. Alright, so we're pretty much done here, I believe. You see, like from the charts there for the aircraft setup, the Jepsen briefing strip is quite handy, you know. We'll go auto brakes 3, I guess. We'll just work out the VRF. So we should get there with 2.3 and 59, 61.3, 61.2. So 61.2 on the gross weight for the approach. So we are 3143 plus 5 on the wind correction. That's it. So straight in ILS approach runway 24 right, which is the landing runway on the northerly part of the airport. when facing west for arrivals. And yeah, just following the transition first from Eastwood, which we're just gonna start now, and then from Seaview, so trying to do all the steps on the way down. So that's where the VNav comes in very handy, because it will hopefully manage the descent well enough, you know, for us. So let me bookmark this and Hollywood. Fantastic. Any questions? Descent checklist complete, or rather briefing complete. Or when you fly, you come with the flight hazard label. It's like hot to handle or something like that, huh? Or handle with care. You must have seen those cargo labels, you know. I think actually one of them is handle with care. There's like labels showing you the orientation that, you know, the boxes or the packages need to be sitting, basically not to have anything like turned upside down. There's quite a few labels like that, indeed. Like that. Handle with care. Right, so descent checklist, pressurization, the land altitude is set, recall was checked, auto brake is 3, landing data is VAR 30 143 and minimums 330, and the approach briefing is completed. So that's the descent checklist complete. Oh, I hear on the Discord in the background. Cool. William, thank you very much for joining us there. I'll activate the connection later on. Fantastic. So you say you got a little bit of time. I kind of did the arrival setup early because the transition on the arrival started at Eastwood, which we are already on, so you've got to get it in the FMC, which I could have done on the ground in Phoenix, as I said. But now we still have a little bit of cruise section here, so, and since I stayed at 28,000 feet, then it makes the cruise a little bit longer. Yeah, unfortunately, they have like a bad reputation. Yeah, it's true. It's a reputation that's has been following for years, actually. You know, that the baggage handlers don't really take good care of the luggage, and I think it's everywhere. It's not particular to an airline or to an airport. It's like a worldwide perception of things. Most of the time, to be fair, I don't see the guys, like, you know, throwing the luggage like that, you know, and not you know, paying too much care to or giving too much care to the luggage. Most of the times, because some of the bags are quite heavy, actually they just like move them from like the cart maybe to the elevator, or to those rolling carpets or whatever you call down to the aircraft. And sometimes also they already come inside of containers, so, but yeah, you don't see everything, so it's true there's a perception of the luggage like being damaged. That's unfortunate, you know. Shall we get another little musical round? Come on, we like the music. Right, come on, let's do it. And then that'll be it for today. Good stuff. Yeah, there's a bit of kind of empty desert area there in between the two places. The California desert. As I said, you know, you leave Phoenix, it was 33 degrees north. So 33 degrees north is, it's probably the latitude of, I don't know, like Morocco or something like that. So it shows you like how south it is, you know, it's... Because I think that, for example, New York is at the latitude of like Bordeaux, you know, in France, around maybe 43 degrees, 44 degrees north, something like that. So as you go further south in the US, you go into the tropical areas. Oh no, Rotterdam, that's not good. When you are flying back from Palma to Vienna, then the the bag got smashed. Oh no, and the camera obviously didn't survive that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, it's been like a problem for a very, very long time, and I don't know what the answer to that is, to be fair. And I think it's throughout the industry actually, also. There is Talia Al Ghul and Batman. I don't know who Talia is. Batman, yes, but Talia, do not know. Okay, sorry. Now I understand. It's on the pictures you sent on the Discord. Yeah. Talia, I suppose, is the lady to the right of Batman, left on the photo, of course. Yeah. You've got a hell of a workshop there, because the other day I could see in the background, like with the Ferrari shots, as you've got a lot of little pots of paint and maybe glue, and there's all the tools. You've got a hell of a setup there. Amazing. It's not amateurish. Oh, it's in your garage, yeah. Heathrow's automated luggage system looks like a cool roller coaster ride. Yeah, those systems are amazing, actually. They are very... I don't know how they do it. To be fair, it looks fantastic. There was on television like several programs, you know, in airports showing you those systems, and the way that all the luggage are like scanned and sent on different, you know, on different tracks and then find their way around the airport is amazing. Because you can imagine like a big airport like Heathrow, for example, there will be like you know, tens and tens of suitcases, and they have to go to the right flight. And it's not so much sometimes going from the check-in desk to the aircraft. It's also sometimes coming from one flight to then go and connect onto another flight. So they have to go to a central place and then be dispatched again. It's from a logistics point of view, it's a big thing. Oh, that's good. You got compensated then for the damage. That's good. Yeah, I think the bubble wrap and the plastic wrap in some airports, you can like wrap the suitcase, you know, into that sort of plastic. It's I think they put quite a few layers of that plastic wrapping paper. Well, not paper. It's like a plastic wrapper. So that would probably protect, you know, the surface of the suitcase. So that will possibly prevent like having scratches and stuff to the suitcase. However, of course, if the suitcase is dropped from like a certain height or something, then it's not gonna absorb the shock, if you see what I mean, because then you still have the shock, and if something is fragile inside of the suitcase, you know, the shock might break it. But at least with those plastic wrappers there, if it's thick enough, then they will protect against any kind of scratches to the, you know, or any dents to the surface of the suitcase, because those suitcases can be a little bit expensive. So if after one flight you already have like half a dozen scratches around the suitcase, it's not nice. Let's see if Volanta... Oh yeah, Volanta has picked it up. Good. Beautiful. Volanta, Volanta. Good. Yeah, here's Volanta. Remove the satellite mode. We're up here, and now from Eastwood, take up the transition. 29 palms. And then go towards San Bernardino, Fontana, Ontario. We're actually gonna fly on top of Ontario, or close to. No, actually on top, a little bit to the south of it, and towards LA. The stadium is actually close by. SoFi Stadium. I think it might be here, in that patch, but it doesn't say anything. Yeah, that's it there. It's funny because you zoom in, you've got like the site where it's like basically work in progress. It's like a building site with nothing on it, and then when you zoom out, then you've got the finished work. So that's the stadium, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and the airport is right there. It looks like an amazing stadium, I have to say. It's really, really nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, the stadium is now in the scenery, so because it's a new stadium, and I don't think that. Well, yeah, a lot of those stadiums are like, you know, near city centers and stuff, so there'll be quite a few. I was not sure actually doing today this flight because if I continue the tour, the Super Bowl will take place in LA, so I'll fly back into LA, maybe from the two teams who are doing the Super Bowl. So whoever is in the Super Bowl then will fly from there. So do two flights. So I will fly back into LA a couple of times, but I'm still hoping for like a flight in snowy conditions and Green Bay, you know, in the cold and the snow and stuff. That would be nice. So Green Bay is now in the wild card because they are like top seeds, so maybe for the divisional or the conference round, maybe we'll do a flight from or to Green Bay. Most probably to Green Bay because they have home field advantage, so we'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for either a very cold day or like a snowy day when I do the flight. We'll see. I don't know how they do it, man. It's so cold up there sometimes. They play like outdoors in an open stadium. It's not like a dome or anything like that. I don't know how they do it. It's yeah, it's interesting. Right. For the descent, it's not gonna be too long. First level is 240. Okay. So I'll set 240. Oh, it's already coming back to 280 knots. Fantastic. Really? You still have about 15 miles to go to Bruin. Anyway. That's what it's deciding to do. Oh, landing rate competition. Hey, Sliman, good evening again. No worries, no worries. Lurk away with dinner and stuff. Just about to start the descent, so yeah, although it's a short flight, it's not too bad. We've got a little bit of time in the cruise, kind of have time to set the aircraft and a little bit of music, run through a couple of little things, so that's cool. It's a little bit cloudy around here. Fair enough. Let's see with the the landing rate. Normally with the 737, it's the tariff is about 200, at least 200. So Grand Wazoo, good, 160. Yeah, TB 180, it's getting there. Rotterdam, a little bit optimistic, I think. 147, it's a little bit optimistic. Oh, cool, Sliman. Gonna decide if you should diversify into P3D or XP or explain. Budget review. Oh, predict a go-around microflight. Oh well. One of the recent flights was a go-around, so yeah. It could be. Gosh. Right, so let's get going then. Yeah, I'm thinking. I think I've said it before, and it must you must be thinking, oh, he said that already, and like 2 or 3 weeks later, he's still on version 4.5. But I'm thinking of P3D version 5.3. But yeah, I'm still. What bothers me a little bit is the transfer of everything from one to the other. You know, the scenery, the aircraft, and stuff to download and re-download and reinstall. That's what kind of bothers me, because I'm sure it's gonna take a long time to transfer all that stuff. But yeah. No, now we can go down to 190. Oh yeah, so you have to kind of set, ideally, level by level, because the restrictions are still like far apart. If they were really close, then you could maybe set a lower altitude straight away. But since they're a little bit spaced, then you have to keep winding down as you go along. Ah, the VNAV is horrible. Supposed to maintain 280 knots, come on. Yes, Slimman, I'm not too familiar with Explain, so as far as Explain is concerned, I can't really speak too much, because I don't know Explain. I think there's quite a few good aircraft in Explain as well. I think Explain is good. At the end of the day, I mean, it's I'm not here to force things onto people. You know, I'm just here to kind of play around, talk a little bit about aviation, and have fun. I'm not like a representative or like a showman of all the different simulators. I'm not waiting for like a new release to go and on stream to showcase the newly released products. So yeah, on Explain I can't really talk too much, but on P3D, I mean, I think these aircraft are decent enough. So alright, we'll put the seatbelt sign on now. Brace for impact. MSFS, as you know by now, I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry to disappoint maybe some of you, but I'm not a big fan of MSFS. I still find is that it doesn't fly very well. For like VFR flying and stuff, it's nice. You've got a little bit more details in the scenery, or it looks a little bit more like you're flying in Google Earth or something, which is, for VFR you get maybe a few more landmarks and stuff, but I find the flying like characteristics and stuff, I just find it a little bit funky, so I'm not a big fan of it. 17,000. Now it's 15,000. So we'll reset the altimeter. 3011. And now we are in the soup with plus 5 degrees, so the engine anti-ice comes on. Yeah, with P3D, I mean, I think I like the structure of it, but it's maybe because it's something I'm used to. For example, with how do you call that? With MSFS, I find it quite difficult, because the file structure is like hidden somewhere at the back of the you know, of your computer, and you have to go to app data and blah 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 blah. It's a little bit complicated for me. I like the file structure for P3D. I find it quite straightforward, but it's because it's kind of been following the structure from the old FSX days and stuff. So if you're used to that, then it's there's a certain continuity. For explain, I'm not really sure how it works as well. So, but I wouldn't say that P3D is difficult to configure, but it depends. You know, it's everybody is different. You know, 14,000 is the next altitude. The HUD, I'm not too familiar with the HUD. I think it's installed here. I'm not too familiar with it, so normally I don't use it because, as I said, I'm not like overly familiar with it and the way it works. So yeah, 14, 12. What's the next step? C-view is 12, yeah. Now it's going too fast. 1243 Southwest 5724. See ya. It's a long straight in approach actually, because from Skull then it's pretty much straight in all the way to the runway. Right, so 1 to go. The speed is gonna come back. Yeah, the speed is coming back, and then the next altitude is 10, I think. Yeah, 10 at Skull. $270 knots, good. Oh yeah, these are the hills north of LA. Yeah? Cool. Yeah, you can get the heads-up display with the 737. Some airlines also use the heads-up display for low visibility operations instead of having the autopilot capable of auto land. They fly low vis approaches with the HUD. Which must be difficult. I mean, it's probably not that easy. But I guess it's a little bit... I've always compared that. It might be a little bit stupid of me to say that, but I've always compared like flying with the HUD as flying a fighter jet, you know. So it feels like military flying to me. Right, so now it's good. We've got a little bit of a platform there to decelerate, maintain 10,000 feet until Skull, and then we can descend. Actually, I can set 9,000 now. Yeah, we are a couple of miles to Skull. It's gonna keep decelerating. LA traffic, southwest 5724, Skull transition, ILS 24 right. Good. So 9,000 feet, yeah. So the Cardinals don't have very far to go for that game. It's just a 1 hour flight from Phoenix to LA. That's a good point, Aero Guitarist. There's no engine parameters data, so if you look up into the HUD, then how do you look at, you know, the engine parameters? When you fly and you're sitting like this pretty much, and you look at your PFD and your navigation display, the engine parameters are not very far. Let me remove the engine anti-ice now. But when you look up into the HUD, then yeah, you don't have really the view. 8,000 feet, good. We'll go 7,000. As I said, like the guys who fly low-vis approaches with the HUD must be quite difficult, you know, because flying manually in low-vis conditions is tough, I find. Right, we're looking for India Oscar Sierra Sierra, so for the moment it's not the island we have. Ha. Next is 6 at 11. Mind you, I could actually set 2200 because the VNav should... we'll see how it manages, but it should manage. And since the restrictions are about 2-3 miles apart, you can probably set to the lower altitude straight away. Oh, it's actually starting to come back on the speed. Interesting. The danger on a straight-in approach like that is the energy management, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's true, Aero Guitarist. At least if you had like just the N1, for example, that's the main one. To be honest, then it would be useful to trust the auto throttle. Yeah, 99% of the time, most probably. But the 1% of the time you think you're trusting it, and then it does something funky, then you know it's not good. Right, and now we've got India Oscar Sierra Sierra identified. That's good. 20 miles out, good. The glide slope is a little bit above, which is good. Mercy 4,000 feet. It's gonna work nicely. And after Mercy, actually, I'll go and fly level change and try to go a little bit below the profile, and then catch the glide slope from below and decelerate a little bit. Okay, that is 24 right, Southwest 5724. Yeah, we've got downtown LA there. A little bit of mist in the morning there. Yeah, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so on the west coast. Right, and I will go flight level change. And we'll go approach mode. So Vorlock capture. Early traffic, southwest 5724, final 248. And we'll go flaps 1. And then now with the deceleration, it's just gonna catch the glide slope because the rate of descent decreases. So it's just gonna catch the glide slope beautifully. Flaps 5. That's a glide slope captured. I will set 2000 feet for the mist. Right, so I prepare for the landing. Star switches. Oh, I forgot these actually. Continuous recall is checked. Speed brake armed. 10 miles, beautiful. And tower 119.8, southwest 5724. Yeah, there's a little bit of early morning mist. There's a stadium here. Maybe that's the Coliseum. Maybe in LA, downtown LA there. Very reminiscent of the actual place. Right, 8 miles? No, 6 miles. Let's configure then. So we'll go gear down. Flaps 15. Come back on the speed. So we said start switches, continuous recall is checked. Speed brake arm, green light, landing gear down 3 greens, auto brake is 3. Holding at flaps, we'll go flaps 30. So 1, 2 clicks. Back to a final approach VRF plus 5. So flaps 30, green light. Landing lights are on. Landing checklist complete. Cabin crew seats for landing. So I'll disengage the autopilot. And the auto throttle is here. Yep. Cool.
1,000.
Checkly check. So here, yeah, you disconnect both the autopilot and the auto throttle. The auto throttle stays on the 777, but as far as I know, on the 7.3 you disconnect it for manual landing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, wish me luck. Brace for impact. It's gonna be a sore one. I hope you have your shoulder pads, your helmets. I don't have any excuses, huh? The wind is calm. It's a beautiful morning. No storms, anything like that. Here's the moment of truth.
Minimums.
Continue. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Do idle reverse. How was the damage? Oof! KFC Turbo, congratulations. I was not expected today. And ICAS auto brake. Cool. Let's vacate here. And then I need to make sure there's nobody taking off from the inner runway. Let's double check, there's nobody there. Oh, there's nobody, good. LA traffic, southwest 5724, crossing 24 left. Good. Welcome to Los Angeles International, LAX. Right now, hard right on, hard left on Echo here. 1214, southwest 5724. So first here, and then we'll take it from there. KFC Turbo, you got it right today. Amazing. Alright, so all those lights can come off now. We'll just keep the runway turn off and the taxi light. This can come off. The probe heat can come off now as you taxi in. And the strobes can come off as well. Right, so I'm supposed to go to gate 14, which is... yeah, further down on Echo. Okay. Oh well, that was a nice one. Ground Wazoo, no, this one, all the flights are pretty much like random flights. So to take the away team to obviously the home team, so go from one city to another one. I need to stick to the taxi center line there, drifting away. So today was from Phoenix to LA, but next week will depend, of course, on the results of this week. So we might be back to Kansas City, or back to Green Bay, or maybe Tampa or something like that. Hey, no worries, Slimman. We'll see you around. Thank you very much for popping in. See you next time. You have a good weekend as well. Hey, Rizade, thank you much. Hi. Yeah, it's definitely the architecture in LAX, that kind of open dome, so to speak. It's definitely like this. Right, so we're going to gate 14? Oh yeah, here it is. Nope, no need for follow me. In some airports it's funny because it's relatively quiet. The taxi route to the gate is relatively easy, but there's still a follow me, and very often we wonder, why is there a follow me? You know, is it just like the airport that charges extra to dispatch a follow me, you know? Oh yeah, San Francisco, Dallas. That was one I was thinking of doing. The only thing is that I was a little bit on the long side, because when I looked at Flight Aware, it was around like 2 hours 45, 3 hours, which I thought that was maybe a little bit long for the stream, because then a lot of viewers get bored in the cruise and then go away. So I thought 3 hours is maybe a little bit long. Plus, you know, I was not also sure I would have the whole time to do it. So so that's why, as you know, as said, I picked up this flight today because it's short enough, but we've got a little bit of time to you know, to chat and stuff, but not spend like 2 hours plus in the cruise. I don't mind, like, you know, doing 3 hours if I've got a little bit more time and stuff. If people get bored and go away, then yeah, whatever. But yeah, I thought for this one, we'll see. If San Francisco like beats Dallas, then they'll probably travel to is it Green Bay or something? That will be a nice flight to do, actually. Right, we'll turn right here at Delta 8. I need to start the APU, my friend. Yes. Oh, there's a Southwest aircraft here. Beautiful. Oh, and we are going straight where the empty dome is here. I don't know how you call this structure, or like a, almost like a flying saucer. Makes me think of that as well. Anyway, you get the drift. That seems to be the area at LAX where Southwest goes. So. And the weather radar can come off as well. Did I choose 10 or 14? Can't remember. I think it's supposed to be 14. I hope I didn't choose 10 by mistake. Amazing! Yeah, we are. Southwest colleague with the scintilla or whatever the name is for the winglets. Beautiful. Right, so this is 16. And then we should have 14. Once again, disregard the wobbly taxiing here. In the sim, it's not easy. And I'm not paying too much attention, that's more. Right, so that's 14. Go down a little bit. The lights can be killed. APU on the bus. Ah, it brakes too hard. Push! 13 feet, come on. Stop! Here we are. Right, so we'll set the parking brake. And the APU is on the bus, yeah, so we can shut down the engines. 1, 2. Hey, our guitarist, no worries. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you next time, hopefully. Thank you very much. Have a good one. And the anti-call can now come off. That's it. We'll quickly shut it down. The fuel pumps can come off. The window heat can come off. If you shut down the aircraft, the electric hydraulic pumps come off. We'll open the isolation valve and switch on the APU bleed as well. What else? Yeah, that's it, I think. Pretty much. Oh, the transponder. Back to off. Let's open or connect actually the ground power, set the chocks. Connect the ground power. And then I'm gonna request deboarding. Yeah. Open the cargo doors already. And then open the first door here. The bridge should be in place before the door gets opened, but hey. That's it. Welcome to LAX, where the Arizona Cardinals will take on the LA Rams. That'll be a good one as well. Monday night game. Cool, guys. We can make that happen anytime. I'll get cracking. It was good to speak to you guys. Strato, good luck with the rest of the ground school, but I'm sure I'll see you at some point. Thank you again for the renewal of the subscription. 20 months, it's amazing. We are 4 months short of the 2 years. And Grand Wazoo, thank you very much for the bits, and Rotterdam as well, if you're still here. Thank you very much. You're a legend. And yeah, guys, I'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully. I said I'll keep you advised for the divisional round. And yeah, still to be determined. I'll let you know. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for the company and for the good chat. And we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. See you soon. Thank you.